Hello and welcome. My name is Anas. I'm a senior collaboration engineer with CCI certification. In the last session, we have covered the UCCX call flow and we have discussed about the basic terminologies that comes within UCCX and CUCM, like call control group, trigger point, and etc. In this session, we will be covering UCCX integration with CUCM and its configuration. I have classified the integration and configuration into four blocks. The first one is on the CUCM side, second one on the UCCX side, and then again we will be going back to CUCM, and finally we will end our configuration and integration in the UCCX side. The first step on the CUCM side is a AXL user creation. AXL user creation is nothing but we will be creating an application user in CUCM with AXL user capability. And on the UCCX side, under System Unified CM Telephonic Configuration, we will be using the AXL user which we have created in CUCM, and we will utilize this particular user to create RMCM user and JETAP user. So this is a new terminology that I'm using here, RMCM user and JETAP user. Let me quickly familiarize these two words to you. I will use another slide for explaining that. In this particular slide, you could see the communication between CUCM and UCCX happens over two channels or two methods. So the first one is JETAP, the other one is RMCM. Now what is the difference, right? So JETAP controls the state of CTI route points and CTI ports to ensure the proper call routing between CUCM and UCCX. On the other side, RMCM used to control the agent states and monitor the agent phone. So basically inside the RMCM user, we'll be mentioning those agent phones MAC address. That means those MAC address will be able to be controlled by the UCCX. So the contact manager or CM, right? CM of RM. So CM queues the call and offers it to available agents as requested by the resource manager. Now let's go back to the integration step. Now the third step is on the CUCM side, we will be creating the end user. In the end user, we will associate the agent's IP phone as a controlled device. And as a fourth step, what we will do is in the same end user page, in the bottom of the end user page, anyway, we will be looking at the actual page, CUCM page, in a moment. Before that, let me quickly give an explanation on that. So we will assign the extension of the user as an IPCC extension. And now as a fifth step, RMCM application user, which we have already touched upon, will associate the users or the agent's IP phone MAC address to this particular RMCM application user so that the UCCX can control this device. Finally, on the UCCX side, we will create an application which will be having a script as well, and we will create a call control group, basically CTI port, which we have discussed in the last session, and a trigger point that is nothing but CTI route point. And sixth step is we will create a resource group. Resource group is nothing but the pool of resources. We could have the resource group or we could have resource skill as well. Skill is nothing but we classify the agents based on the skills, and we will be creating a CSQ as well. CSQ is contact service queue, which we will be utilizing in the applications page where we will point a particular CSQ for an application. And seventh step is nothing but we will assign the CSQ and application. Now let's go to the CUCM page and do the integration and configuration in the real time. Logging into CUCM, we have user management, application user. We'll click find. You will see few users configured here. The user where we are using for UCCX integration is the administrator user. We'll open this up. We'll scroll down to the bottom side and you could see the role assigned to this particular administrator user is standard AXL API access. So administrator user is having the role of AXL API access. Now we have performed the first step. Now let's go to the UCCX site. Click here to log in. I'll use app admin, system, Cisco Unified CM configuration. Now here we are using the administrator credentials which we have created in this UCM, and we point out the nodes that we need to use in the UCCX. In CUCM cluster I have 3 nodes. I am not using the publisher. I'll keep the publisher idle, but however I'll be using the subscriber, 2 subscribers for this integration. Now I'll be creating 2 new users. The first one username is JTAPI. This is a new user creation. This does not exist in CUCM. Let me quickly go and show you that. If you look at user management, application user, click find, you won't see any user named as JTAPI or RMCM, which is not present in CUCM. We are creating a new user in UCCX here in this page. I'll create username as JTAPI. You could give any name, and I'll give the password and confirmation password as well. So usually we see the password and confirmation password when we are creating a new user. So here we are creating a new user, and similarly we will do the same for RMCM as well. We will create a new RMCM user, and we'll give password and confirm password. Password is nothing but RMCM itself. For the sake of simplicity, I'll create username and password as the same. Now I'll click on update. Now it's loading. It is updated. It is recommended to do a unified CCX engine service restart. We will do that. I'll click update one more time just to make sure it is updated. Now if you look at CUCM side and click find, you will see JTAPI1_1 and JTAPI_2 created as a new user, and you will also see an RMCM user as well created. So why it is 2 users created? Because I have 2 nodes in UCCX. If I go to system server, you will see 2 nodes for UCCX, and the status is partial service. The reason why the status is partial service is because we have not yet completed the integration step, right? So once we have completed the integration step, we will again come back to list servers page, and we will see the service as in service. Now let's go back to CUCM page, and we will see RMCM user. You will see the roles assigned to this RMCM user is standard CTI LO call monitoring for monitoring the calls, and again for performing the call recording and controlling the phones, and again standard CTI enabled. On the JTAPI side, if you look at, let's open one, and standard CTI enabled. Let's go back to the slide. The third step is on the CUCM side, where we will have to go to the end user page and associate the control device, and the fourth step is enroll the extension for IPCC, and the fifth step is going to be RMCM application user configuration, right? User configuration in the sense we will be associating the agent desk phone to this particular RMCM user. So let's go to CUCM page now. On the CUCM page, we will first see which phone are we going to use as an agent desk phone. We will use Michael Jordan phone as the agent desk phone. This is the MAC address ends with 60BD. Michael Jordan is the user, so username is M Jordan. We will go to user management, end user, click find, M Jordan. We will see the control devices there. So control device is already selected. By default it won't be there. However, in my setup I have already selected the control device. So 60BD is the control device. Now this is the section where we associate IPCC extension to this user. So here the primary extension of this user is that ends with 2001, and we will assign the same directory number for IPCC as well. So the moment I click here and save this configuration, you will see the user reflecting on the UCCX site. So I'll not click it. So before clicking it, I'll quickly show you the list of resources that is currently present in UCCX site. So the user that we are currently interested is M Jordan. If you look at UCCX subsystem RMCM resources, you will see a couple of resources already listed here. However, there is no Michael Jordan present in this list, right? So the moment when I do the checkbox or in the drop down list, if I select IPCC extension here and click save, you will see the user reflecting in the UCCX site. I'll click save one more time and I will see it is reflecting. Yeah, it is reflecting here, and that is good. Now if I go back to UCCX and I will hit a refresh here, now it is going for a refresh. Now you will see Michael Jordan created here or reflected here. It's not creation, it is like pulling the user details into the UCCX site. Michael Jordan is reflecting in the UCCX. Now let's go to the RMCM user, application user, RMCM 60BD is we will see the list of available devices within the CUCM. The interested for here is 60BD, which is associated to Michael Jordan. We will select that particular device and mark it as control device. Now we just need to hit save. We have associated the end user disk phone as a control device in end user page, and we have enrolled the IPCC extension as well. And finally, in the RMCM application user, we have associated that particular IP phone as a control device as well. Now on the final stage of integration and configuration is on the UCCX side. We'll have to create an application, then CCG and trigger. Unified CCX administration subsystem will create application, add new Cisco script application. I will simply give the name CSA, Cisco script application. I'll just give that. I'll give the ID as 0 itself. It is okay. Maximum number of session I'll give 4 simultaneous session. Now script, I will select the default ICD script. Now I'll have to select a CSQ, but I will not select it now because we don't have the CSQ as of now. And welcome prompt, I'll select one welcome prompt here from the sample UCCX welcome sample audio source MULO. I'll select that as the welcome prompt and I will click add. Now we have created the Cisco script application. Now we will go to CCG, call control group, create new. I'll give the name CCG. Number of CTI ports that we need is I'll give 4. If I give 4, it will be creating 8 CTI ports because I have 2 UCCX nodes in this particular system. Inbound, that's okay. Prefix, I'll give IP. Starting directory number, I will give +1 I'll just copy from here, device, phone, Michael Jordan. I'll select from here. I will edit it. I'll give 300. So it'll be creating 300, 301, 302 up to 307. So device pool, I will select UCCX device pool, and DN's calling search space, I will give UCCX calling search space. Partition, I will give UCCX PT. UCCX PT. Now I'll click add. You will see the CTI ports being created there. Now we have ID, group ID as 7. We have CTI ports created. Let's open it. You will see the CTI ports, 8 CTI ports created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this should be reflecting here in the CUCM as well. If you look at CUCM, you will see 8 ports created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's go to the trigger, that is CTI route point. If you look at, there is no trigger at this point. We will create a trigger as well. Go to Unified CM Telephony and create a trigger. Now trigger can be created from this particular subsystem Unified CMN trigger, or else you can go to application and to application management and CSA, you can create from there also. So here we will give the trigger directory number as 2500. Language, we will leave it as default. Application name CSA, which we have created before, and the device name I will give trigger, UCCX trigger. Now description, again I will give the same. Now the call control group, we will select the CCG, the only call control group that we have, and I'll click add. Now we have the trigger point created. So we will see in the application management, in the script application, you will see, you can see the trigger is already associated with this particular one. Now on CSQ is the one that we have to give here. We will give that later point of time. Now let's go to CUCM and see the CTR route point created here. If you click find UCCX trigger, and the trigger number is ends with 2500. Now let's go. The sixth step is create a resource group and the CSQ. On the UCCX side, we'll create RMCM resource group. We have a couple of resource group already present in this page. We will create a new resource group. I'll name it as my agents. Click save, and under my agents, okay. Now we will go to contact service queue. We'll create a new CSQ. I'll name it as my CSQ, and I'll copy this one as well, my CSQ. And this CSQ is based on resource skill or resource group. For the sake of the presentation, we will use the resource group because we have already created a resource group just before. Now prompt UCCX welcome. I'll select UCCX welcome. I'll click next. Now longest available resource group. So my agents is the resource group that we have selected. And resources, there is no resources at all in this my agents resource group. I'll click add, and I will go to resources. I'll add Michael Jordan into a particular resource group, my agents, and I will update. Now if I go to CSQ, my CSQ, if I go next, show resources, I will see Michael Jordan present here. And you can also use open printable report. You will see the same here. Resources, you will see the Michael Jordan and all the associated details as well. Now we have CSQ as well. Now the last one is the 7th step is assign the CSQ to application. Let's open application CSA. We have already copied that my CSQ. I'll have to put the CSQ name within the double quotes because this is taken as a string value, and we will update here. The configuration is complete. Before the integration we were seeing in partial service. Now you can see the service for both publisher and the subscriber, you will see as in service. Now let's try to log in the user. I'll retype it, M Jordan. This is the extension number. Click sign in. Username or password incorrect. This is happening because there's a problem with my Tomcat service on CUCM side. I'll quickly restart the Tomcat service, finish Tomcat service to fix the problem that we are facing. Util service restart Cisco, finish Tomcat, util service list. Now here on the subscriber one, util service restart Cisco Tomcat. I'll copy this one. Now I'll put the same here in subscriber 2. Now here in the UCCX I'll have to restart finish Tomcat. I'll copy that name, finish Tomcat, copy that, utils service restart finish Tomcat. Finish Tomcat is started here in the secondary. We will see the status in primary as well. It is started in primary. Subscriber started, publisher started. Yeah. Now let's try to log in again. Now it is working. Currently it is in not ready state. We will move it to ready state. Now we will give a call to this particular trigger point. The agent is now ready. Now we will give a call to this particular trigger point number or the contact center number. So I will give the number here. So this is the music on hold. You could hear the music on hold playing. This is something that I have configured here. If you look at the CSA application management, so sample audio source mu low wave is nothing but the music on hold audio that I have downloaded from CUCM. The audio that is a little lengthy, but after completing that audio, right, you could see the incoming call landing.
All of our representatives are assisting other callers at this time. Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line and your call will be handled in the order it was received.
I will end the call now. So now we have seen the call is landing to the agent phone after playing the welcome prompt. So but we did not answer it, and we terminate the call as well. So we'll make it again ready, and that is how, I mean, we have gone through the entire step of integration, configuration, and making the call landing to the agent phone. So that is the end of the session. Thanks everyone, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. So in the next session we will be exclusively covering the scripting with the examples and how we are doing and what is the logic. We will be covering everything in detail. Stay tuned.